13-year-old kid dictate my future and their future. She knew when she was at the top of that pyramid, and this is where it's bad parenting, Kelly.
The dance moms were ready to wage war against Abby. They were furious that Empress Abby was willing to replace anyone and everyone who refused to follow their rules. They were at their breaking point, and they just didn't want to continue like that. It all began like this.
Go ahead right through into the den and the girls can start stretching. Even though we got seconds, I would much rather work with these kids. Pretty soon, those old moms would just be a distant memory.
Real dance moms are here.
Their strategy was to give Abby the silent treatment. They walked into the studio and acted like they weren't there. Even when Abby asked them some questions, they remained quiet. Trust me, if you were there, you would think they were statues.
She is in New Orleans, all the way back home. How did this get screwed up?
They felt we came in second place.
Your daughter came in second place, probably the reason the team came in second place, and now she's gonna come in and be mad, and you're just like, it's all good.
Abby is pissed as hell. There's literally no one in the studio, and she can't start her practice session with the girls. The new mom notices that the other moms aren't present in the studio, and she decides to have a conversation with Abby. Here's how that plays out.
I think we need to go. Let's move along. This is stupid.
Abby basically blames me for the team falling apart. So I think if I stay outside, we'll have a better chance at reconciliation.
Oh my God. I can't believe the same moms who quit.
It looks like she's not bothered at all by their absence. Who knows? Maybe she will get them all replaced after all. While trying to find out where the moms are, Abby notices that they're outside, sitting on the ground and chatting. Boy, did she lose her temper.
We worked our butts off with your kids. Make a decision.
Well, I brought Kendall here to dance. I need her to dance. I want her to dance. That's my decision.
Finished. Make a decision right now. You either choose the Abby Lee Dance Company, or you can go play with Brooke and Paige.
There you have it. Abby doesn't want to see the dance moms or their kids in her studio anymore. It's 2 days until the competition, and Abby decides to replace her entire team. She makes a few phone calls, and in no time, she has a few girls ready to practice the routine. Is she really saying goodbye to her old team?
I would prefer not to take any other solos, but I committed to attend the competition. Not one of these kids deserves a solo, but I have no choice. So I'm gonna take my national champion.
And just like that, the old team has been replaced. Wow. The dance moms decided to have a get-together to discuss how they would get back at Abby for kicking them and their girls off the team. They started their plot like this.
Save the day. She's a star, and they all better get used to it. Be grateful that Sophia has come to Pittsburgh and joined our group. It's like going from flying first class.
Miss Abby kept saying how much better Sophia was than all of us, and that gave me a purpose to work really hard to show Miss Abby one day I will be as good as Sophia.
Watch your back, Abby. The dance moms are coming for you. It's 1 day to the competition, and Abby is working with the new girls harder than she usually would. This time around, it wasn't just about winning the competition. She wanted to prove to the moms that anyone is replaceable, and she doesn't need them.
And Sophia uses that face, she uses that style, she hits every accent in the music. Really have to stretch that knee, feel like I'm pulling.
It's kind of hard not to be jealous of her when I watch her because even though she's my age, she can do 54 turns and I can't.
Well, let's hope Abby knows what she's doing. While she was making her way to the competition with the new girls, the dance moms were grooming their girls to perform a different dance routine. Do the moms have what it takes to pull it off?
Drawing your eye because they were amazing, or are they drawing your eye because they were late?
They have them on this team because they want them to compete. So of course we're not going to tell you to take our kid out of the group dance for the competition. I mean, we would be stupid.
Christy could not look at Sophia. Christy, if you want to sit there and not watch that kid and pretend that she doesn't exist, that's stupid.
Moving on, Abby's lead dancer takes the stage to perform her solo routine. Her performance was exceptional. She nailed every single move, and Abby was impressed by what she saw.
I'm nervous, and I don't like to be nervous. We're going back to intensity dance, but it's in Ohio. Some of the toughest schools in the country are in Ohio. And we're coming in with a brand new number with a new dancer that I am out of my mind.
The next girl from Abby's Girls gave an even better performance. It felt like she didn't replace anyone, and the crew was always complete. If only the dance moms were here to see what magic Abby had performed on the new girls. dance moms, on the other hand, were at a different location. They had their girls perform a routine in the hopes of getting back at Abby for kicking them off her team. Here's how the performance went.
This is to another girl, Chloe.
One judge specifically gave me an Expressive Heart Award, and that was something really special, and it was a really good moment for me.
My job as a mom is to raise someone that I not only love, but I like. And I really like the person that Chloe is.
Once again, Abby is back with her pyramid. She starts by explaining to the girls that she wasn't so impressed with their previous performance and would be making certain changes to the solo and duet performances. Here's how she started.
Chloe, remembering your choreography. That is what you need to work on. Write it down. Maybe if you write it out.
This week, Abby has Chloe at the bottom of the pyramid because she forgot her solo. And you know what? For once, I can't really argue with Abby because Chloe did forget her solo and she's getting older and she needs to take responsibility for her actions.
One of the dance moms was not happy with the new position Abby placed them in. She felt that there was bias in her decisions and was punishing her daughter without reason. Even though her daughter was present for practice, she refused to give her a role. And that was just upsetting. Could Abby still be mad at her for leaving the team?
Abby, if she's gonna do that, she spent the entire week learning the number with this group. Why wouldn't she just go away with us and compete the number?
But that doesn't mean you don't do anything dance-wise all weekend.
That kind of seems unfair, if you ask me. Moving on, Abby gets the girls into position without wasting any time as they start to work on their routines. However, one of the dance moms is still very unhappy with the decision.
Contemporary piece. The music's great, and I want the kids to push themselves artistically. Some of the feet are flexed, they're pulling on each other, there's some partner work, and that's something new for these kids. And run!
So Brooke's really gonna further her dance education by running the music and watching.
This is Sophia. This is not anybody else.
She's playing like Sophie.
I smell a fight coming up between this mom and Abby. As the girls practiced and worked on their routines, Abby noticed some flaws in their movement. And trust me, she didn't play nice when she told the girls, take a look.
Is an act. Melissa and Maddie are so overwhelmed by the fact that Sophia is here on the team and they're kind of living in her shadow. They're in somebody else's shadow.
Paige, back foot! 3 times I've told you.
Abby and one of the dance moms argue about the roles the kids are playing. The mom is worried that her daughter will feel a certain way if Abby follows through with her plan to step her child down from a solo to a duet. Does Abby care at all?
Every week, and now she's doing a duet with Kendall.
Wait, yeah. I think, it's different.
Did Melissa just admit to me that she's not happy Maddie has a duet with Kendall? Interesting.
If Abby thinks this is a downgrade for Maddie, she's wrong.
Well, that reaction answers the question. Abby isn't bothered about anyone's feelings. She just wants the girls to do well in the competition. It's time to see if all the moves Abby has been making on her chessboard are going to pay off. They're at the competition, and her girls are about to perform. Here's how the solo performance went.
Up next, Mackenzie performing Lemonade.
For Abby to look that excited, she definitely gave an excellent performance on stage. Now, the girls taking part in the duet performance go up on stage to try to impress Abby. The big question now is, can they pull it off?
From Abby Lee Dance Company, let's welcome to the stage contestant number 217.
Looks like they could after all. Even though the girls had an amazing performance, Abby and the dance moms were still at each other's throats.
It's okay, Abby. You can give corrections.
Oh, you're allowing me to correct my students now?
You can do whatever you want. I just don't want you screaming, hurting feelings before they go out on stage.
Jill, if you looked at your kid doing that dance and thought that her leg was in a la seconde?
Abby and her girls had a competition in New Jersey, and there was no time to joke around at all. They had a lot of routines to work on, and Abby, as usual, was going to work her girls down to their bones. Anyway, it started this way.
I want you to stop resting on your laurels. I want you to keep improving for the next 20 years, not for one competition. Do you understand? So you impress them, I want you to impress me.
Maddie really should have been on top of the pyramid this week.
Chloe, you didn't do a solo last week. You were great in the group. People were recognizing you from the video.
In no time, Abby got the girls working on their routines in the practice room. The new routine they were working on wasn't easy, and some of the girls were having a hard time grasping it. But Abby was not ready to give up on her girls.
It's kind of provocative, yet beautiful and wondrous, and it's all done very artistically. I want their costumes and the dancers to appear as if they're just being born. Go onto your stomach.
She didn't really say what.
Oh my God, Brooke's in fetal position!
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't look like the moms are very comfortable with this new routine. Now, one of the girls in the group was not enjoying herself a lot. She felt Abby was being too hard on her, and due to that reason, she was starting to doubt if she wanted to continue dancing at the studio.
I ended up going to the football game after rehearsal, but Abby's yelling at me a lot, saying that I have to stay focused and don't worry about missing football games and stuff.
Are you gonna try out? For cheer? School cheer?
I don't know.
I know you like to dance, but it could be something new if you're over it.
2 days before the competition, the girls are back to rehearsing as if their lives depend on it. While the girls run their routines, Abby notices that one of the girls is missing. When she discovers the reason behind her absences, Abby loses it. Take a look.
And for everybody in this group, you're letting a 13-year-old kid dictate my future and their future.
But I'm letting my 13-year-old dictate her future.
She knew when she was at the top of that pyramid, and this is where it's bad parenting, Kelly. She should have opened her mouth and said, Abby, let somebody else be at the top of the pyramid this week.
Abby sure didn't like the news she just got, and now everyone might have to suffer for it. The yelling doesn't just end there, trust me. When the other moms try to talk to Abby about the decision she made, she goes out on all of them. Could this be the end of her dance group?
Kendall, Nia, and Paige have not been into it.
They're dismissed. You will not be traveling this weekend.
Well, Melissa and I aren't going for a solo.
I do not want to go back to a competition that we won, the Nationals, without my best foot forward.
We're trying to stand behind Brooke in her decision, and we
Well, I think you're an ass.
Well, Abby is definitely still upset, and she might stay that way for a while. While on their trip to New Jersey, one of the moms gets a phone call from Cathay informing her that she will be going to the same competition Abby and her girls are attending. Here's how it plays out.
Give her any information. Why is she calling you? That is so unethical.
Hi.
How often does she call her?
Melissa gets this phone call from Kathy of all people. Why does Kathy have your number?
I was thinking maybe there would be a time to just get the girls together, maybe meet halfway somewhere.
Okay, sounds good.
I can't believe that Melissa is talking to her like that.
Judging from Abby's reaction, that's going to be a problem. Finally, they made it to the competition. Even though Abby's girls are missing a dancer, they are determined to give it their all and win the competition. Now, that was a beautiful performance. It looks like the girls might actually pull it off. The judges pick their winner, and of course, it comes from one of Abby's girls. The moment Cathay realizes that she gets into a brawl with Abby and the moms backstage.
Junior petite soloist today. It's going to 321. Bigger is it better? It's Mackenzie from Abby Lee Dance.
Mackenzie won her age division, 7 to 8. My little girl did fabulous.
You excited?
Yeah.
I felt today. This is between Abby and I, so pipe down.
You need
Disco ball.
Kathy is just a rude, mean little woman.
For Abby and her dance girls, and this week was going to be one hell of a week. Being Abby Lee's company dance concert, she needed the girls to be more than ready to tackle any routine thrown their way. She began with her pyramid, of course, and it began like this.
Did you forget part of your dance? No, so it was the costume falling off, right? Paige, do you want to be here? Because your mother is still making excuses for you.
No, I'm not. You made that excuse for Maddie, so I was making it for Paige.
Paige screwed up the whole group number in front of a live audience.
And we won.
It's honestly going to take a lot for Abby and this dance mom to get along. They always seem to argue about everything and anything. Just before Abby concludes her pyramid positioning, one of the dance moms gets furious again. Now she's convinced that Abby is being unfair to the rest of the girls.
Because you were rehearsing for a charity event.
Yes.
I think it's wonderful for you to do charity events. However, charity begins at home. And this is now your home.
Really, Asia shouldn't be higher than any of the kids who performed in the group dance. Why should she get a spot above all these kids who were here?
For the love of God, can there be peace already? Moving on, Abby isn't bothered by any of the fights or yelling. She proceeds to tell the girls that they will be doing old routines that they had done before, except this time with more effort. After that, she began to drill the girls.
Remember, this is one of my favorite Broadway shows. Do not mess it up out there. It's sassy, it's fun, they look adorable, and there's some comic relief. The girls come out in these big, sloppy overcoats. They look like bums.
As the kids run their routines, one of the dance moms goes on a long rant about how Abby is always treating her kids like they don't belong on the team. She was jealous that Abby had a favorite out of all the girls, and she never gave her daughter a chance to showcase her talent.
And glorifying Maddie. I'm excited that Abby's given Brooke the opportunity to sing at the showcase this year, but I don't understand why she's giving Paige a new solo. Like, she always has to give a negative with a positive. I'm sorry, I can't sit back and let a woman say that to my children and me not defend my children.
Abby's aim for having the girls run individual solo routines was to entertain the audience and keep the atmosphere alive. Making every girl have an individual solo meant she would have to work 10 times harder to ensure the girls perfected their routines.
Welcome her with open arms? I hope so, because in the dance world, there is only one first impression. Okay, you understand? Yes? And you need to be spectacular. All right? Say yes, sister. Today is going to be a busy day. Each girl's solo has been specifically selected to entertain the audiences.
Abby takes the girls to the set to have them work on a group routine she was thinking of adding to the mix. While they perform the routine, Abby realizes that the girls aren't moving the way she wants them to, so she decides to make a change. As usual, the angry dance mom goes on a rampage.
I love how you volunteered her. You notice whenever you asked people, nobody volunteered. Or she did not volunteer, you volunteered her. When any one of these kids were asked to do a new solo, none of them chose to.
Another one bites the dust, and just like that, Abby loses one of her dancers. But is she bothered by it? You can bet your ass she isn't. Moving on, Abby preps her girls for a photo shoot for Dance Track magazine. She has no idea who will be on the cover of the magazine, but she knows one of the girls will make the cut.
Kelly went berserk at the dance concert dress rehearsal and took her kids with her. I could definitely see Paige winning this cover. For this photo shoot, I've assigned each girl a character to help them bring life and energy to their pictures. Chloe is the rebel rocker.
The day they've all been waiting for is finally here, and every girl has a big role to play. All the girls got on stage to give their solo performances, and my God, did they give one hell of a performance. It was like the stage was their playground, and they were having all the fun in the world.
This is Abby's big annual showcase recital, and she wants everything to be perfect.
Here we go, lights. We're ready, go curtain.
Their group performance was even more entertaining than the first performance they gave. Abby sure knows how to bring out the best in her girls. Too bad the girls who quit weren't going to experience the beautiful performance.
I think they pulled it together as a team in spite of Brooke and Paige being absent. Places